The following program contains shocking amounts of primary sources. If you suffer from addiction to rumors, this show might not be right for you. Check with your cheerleading captain.
Speaking the truth when others hold their tongues. Wrestling for justice with left-wingers and crocodiles. Resisting the temptation to keep the peace at any price. The only talk show host who writes his own theme music, Randall Terry.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another special edition of Randall Terry, the Voice of Resistance, coming to you from Wichita. In tonight's program, we're going to bring you the second installment of our political gathering. I promise you, you're going to be inspired and challenged. Today's program brought to you in part by the National Right to Life Committee, helping betray babies and collaborate with child killers for nearly 40 years. And by Americans United for Life, bringing you inane things like a cyber march. Hey, I'm hungry. Could you feed me a cyber meal? I'll be right back after a quick word from my friend, Sir Reginald Bling.
Just turn the thing on, I got something to say. There are a lot of preachers in the world who say, I have apostolic authority, or I want to be like the apostles. No, you don't. What did the apostles get? They got a butt whooping. They got thrown in jail. They ended up getting killed because they preached the truth. If you want to be like the apostles, you better be ready for your butt to be beat and for your head to be severed from your shoulders. Are you hearing me?
Welcome to the program, friend. This is day 2 of bringing you the political gathering where I was the speaker here in Wichita, Kansas. Again, we'd like to thank Mitt Romney for tanking his campaign by just being unable to hold on to anything with any sense of passion or vigor. All right, that's probably rude. I don't mean to be unkind. The truth of the matter is that Newt Gingrich would make a better president than Mitt Romney. Period. End of discussion. And, as I said yesterday, John King of CNN is probably going to go down in history as having made the Gingrich nominee possible. That's what I'm predicting. It reminds me of way back in 1980 when President Reagan, who was then a candidate, grabbed that microphone from George Bush or said, I'm going to talk now. This is my microphone and I'm taking a minute to speak. And everyone was blown away. When Gingrich just slapped John King over and over, and John King kept standing up and saying, but wait, we're not to blame ABC. Gingrich said, boom, don't you try and blame ABC. You and your producers are the one that asked this abhorrent question. This is despicable. And everyone is standing on their feet and cheering. And for one brief moment, all of us together felt happy that somebody was slapping the media elite in the face repeatedly. And it was Newt Gingrich. And everyone said, I want to vote for Newt just to tick off John King and CNN. John, we love you. John, would you do that for me, please? Would you do that for my campaign? Would you? Huh? All right, folks, let's go to the part 2 of my incredible speech, if I do praise myself, and clearly I do. If the Vichy government under the heel of the Nazis was getting their butt whipped for 40 years, you cannot say we're winning. There are good things happening. The personhood movement is wonderful. The heartbeat movement is wonderful. The fact that more people say that they're pro-life today than really at any time in history. There are nice road signs along the way that should make us happy, but we're not winning. We have been betrayed over and over and over again by our political leaders at the state houses and at the federal government level. And there has not been any major legislation to curtail the slaughter. Thank God for the parental notification laws. Thank God for the ultrasound laws. These clearly reduce the number of babies that are being butchered. But it's not victory. It's like a prison exchange. Or, you know, we got some of the guys out from the prison. That's not victory. And the fact that 55% of Roman Catholics and 35% of evangelicals voted for this demonic baby killer in the White House shows just how far the pro-life movement has gone downward in its trajectory of political firepower. Our political firepower is going down, not up. And when you look at what Boehner did, I'm getting ahead of myself in my notes, but I'll give it to you to prove my point. Boehner betrayed the pro-life movement. Do you understand this? Do you understand who I'm talking about? Yeah. Can you nod? Yes, thank you. John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, he said he would defund Planned Parenthood. Said no one gets a pass when it comes to human life. He said human life is the most important issue we face, more important than our economy, blah, blah, blah. Said all the right words when he got his little award from National Right to Life, okay? Just last summer. So we met in his office 2 days after the election. We met with his chief of staff, 10 of us. Put little fetal dolls on the table, put a little demand list in front of him and said, we're warning you. If you don't defund Planned Parenthood, we will run a primary against you and we will publicly denounce what you do. So here's to show you how bad things are for the pro-life leadership, pro-life groups in D.C. We're approaching the vote. Everyone's going, oh, we're going to defund Planned Parenthood. We're going to defund Planned Parenthood, sending out press releases, doing interviews. Boehner betrays us. Boom! Not one syllable of condemnation from any group in D.C. except ours. Nothing. Total silence. Now, why is that? They want access to power. They're afraid. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to come back around to that. So anyway, we're losing compared to any other movement in this nation's history. The end of child labor, women's voting rights. So here's why we're losing. This is what I'm about to give you is primarily in a random order, except for the first one. The first one touches on what Mark just alluded to. The first reason we're losing, the most critical reason we're losing, is because of fear in our hearts. Fear. The love of reputation. Refusing to pick up our cross. We have not met child killing with the actions and the rhetoric and the sacrifice that are equal to the crime because of fear. We don't want to be called a lunatic or a radical. We don't want to lose access to people in Topeka or in D.C. or whatever state house that we're working in. Fear. Jesus said, take up your cross, follow me. There's no golden cross. There's no padded cross. The cross is a place of shame, of death to self. And we've got to tool our brains so that we embrace what the Lord said. He said, when all men hate you and they revile you and cast your name out as evil and separate you from their company, okay, you don't get to be invited to the party. You don't get to be invited to the meeting with the political power players. He said, in that day, grieve, weep, have a pity party. Oh, I'm sorry, I misquoted the Bible. What he said was, in that day, you're blessed. Rejoice, leap for joy. That's the way they treated the prophets who were before you. Great is your reward in heaven. We must fight in such a way against child killing that is equal to the crime, having no fear of us looking like radicals and lunatics. Do you really think John the Baptist cared if he looked like a lunatic? I mean, who are our heroes, biblically? All right. 2, many people in the pro-life movement have been unwittingly, I'm going to do my very best to be gracious to people. And it's hard. Many people in the pro-life movement have been unwittingly fighting child killing on the terms of the enemy. For example, our rhetoric. What does abortion mean? For the love of God and the love of the truth, don't use the word abortion. It doesn't mean anything. You abort a takeoff of a rocket. You abort a military mission. You abort a plan. You do not abort a human. You murder a human. You slaughter a human. God said, thou shalt not murder. And there are pro-lifers go, oh, you don't want to use incendiary rhetoric. Excuse me, God himself said it's murder. What are you hipper than God? More clever than God? And the word murder, child killing, child slaughter, these phrases resonate in and jar the soul of men and women who hear them. And you know, we always whine or often whine about media. Hello, greetings to you. Are you Channel 10? Yes. Glad to have you. And are you guys Randall Terry, the voice of resistance, seen in over 40 cities coast to coast? Glad to have you as well. Got a great host, by the way. Funny and articulate. We whine that we don't get good coverage from the press. Well, please, give them something to cover. And give them quotes and sound bites that have meaning. I get quoted all the time saying child killing. Google my name in the news, and you will see, the Lord knows how many dozens of stories saying that Obama is the paramount child killer of the Western Hemisphere. In the secular press. I get more fair coverage from the secular press than I do from the Christian press. When images. Baby killers do not want us to show the images of dead babies. You understand that, right? And when we agree with the baby killers, we have entered into a form of collaboration with them. Once again, damning him with faint applause. Will you stop that faint applause thing, please? Either get on with it and really clap or just be quiet. If you're a Nazi, do you want the images of the Holocaust coming out during World War II? Yes or no? Well, if you're a Jew, do you say, well, you know, we're trying to work things out and we don't want to seem like we're extreme, so if any of those images come into our hands, we promise we won't use them. What would you call that Jew? Call him a coward, a traitor, a collaborator. God made us to respond to things visual. The reason, this is for Channel 10 and their soundbite, the reason we are showing images of dead babies during the Super Bowl is to shake the conscience of the nation and to let these babies be a testimony to their humanity and to our cruelty as a people.
If my cloud has a silver lining, it's only to store electricity for the lightning.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylea Health and Energy. I've been making superb nutritional supplements for over 15 years, and from day one, I've partnered with Randall Terry, helping to fund his invaluable work in reclaiming our country's biblical and godly roots. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives since its inception.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 essential areas of nutrition your body needs on a daily basis. Each serving of the Total Living Drink provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, enzymes for better digestion and nutrient absorption, protein for building lean muscle mass so you can burn more fat for fuel, probiotics for better intestinal function, herbs for building energy and stamina, antioxidants for maximum immune function and disease prevention, and all the vitamins and minerals you need for slowing down aging and maximum health. You would have to take 30 to 40 capsules each day and spend almost $10 a day to match the over 30,000 milligrams of total nutrition in each scoop of the Total Living Drink. Order right now and get started on the amazing Total Living Drink. They come in 2 delicious flavors, Total Living Drink Greens and Total Living Drink Berry. And every single dollar we receive, we give a generous amount to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Visit us online at the address on your screen and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today, and for the daily price of a latte, you can get back on the road to better health and energy with Kylea's Total Living Drink.
Don't turn the channel. This is a soul kitchen. It's Randall Terry. Ha!
Welcome back, friend. And now our final installment of this dynamic, handsome speaker from our political rally in Wichita. He looks like me. The babies have no voice. The babies cannot cry for help. They cannot beg for mercy. They cannot fight back. They cannot run away. They can't band together and say, we're a voting bloc and we demand our rights. They can do nothing. The only testimony that they have are the mangled remains of their bodies that are being thrown in sewers and landfills. And their bodies give testimony. This is a human being who has been butchered. This is murder. We must show those images. And I'll tell you, I can tolerate an awful lot in the pro-life world. I really can. Diversity, different strategy. I think that you guys should be working hand in hand together, and there should be no mutual exclusivity. I mean that, and I'll explain why in a minute. But I have no tolerance, none, for people who will not show the images. Get out of the movement. If you don't have the guts to show the dead babies, then get out, because you are a collaborator with the enemy and you're helping perpetuate this Holocaust. You're helping to perpetuate the Holocaust if you won't show the babies. Oh, but we're afraid of hurting the feelings of women who've killed their baby. That's like saying after the Nazis were defeated, we're not going to show the Germans that, you know, the pictures of the dead Jews, because some of them were involved in ratting out their neighbors and worked at the concentration camps, and it'll hurt their feelings. This movement is in the pursuit of justice. Justice. That is the essence of our call and our cause. Justice for the babies. And this is not, well, you know, you have your tactics and we have ours. No, there are things that are fundamentally right strategically. We are an iconocentric people. Do you know what that means? There's a big highfalutin word. Icon means image. And image-centered. We're an iconographic. Icon, graphic means to write or to draw. Icon is an image. You respond to images, okay? Good and bad. And in the Catholic world, Orthodox world, Episcopalian, Lutheran world, they have images in their churches. You have flags. These flags represent something. You have a cross here. This is an image. It says something to us. Okay? The most famous image of the entire Christian world happens to be a crucifix. A man dying on a cross, okay? Blood coming all over. You understand? It's part of how God made us to respond to things visual. Our faith is iconocentric and logocentric. It's a word-centered faith, but it is also an image-centered faith. And how do we know this? Because Hebrews chapter 1 says that he, Christ, is the image of the invisible God. We know what God looks like. Jesus. That's what the book of Hebrews chapter 1 says. So, moving on. In our actions, unwittingly fighting on the enemy's terms, we don't want to be disturbers of the peace. I want to disturb an unjust peace. I make it my mission to disturb an unjust peace. No justice, no peace. Next, tolerance, diversity training, relativism. I go to colleges. And I used to go to colleges and have 50, 100, sometimes hundreds of students come and protest me. The diversity training, relativism, tolerance, let's all just get along, bull nonsense, has so polluted the minds of young people that the good and the bad just don't stand up. They don't want to fight about anything. And that poison has trickled into the pro-life movement and numbed us so that we don't want to do anything that looks just quite too radical. And again, this doesn't apply to the people in this room. Clearly, you're radical. That's why you're here.
The GOP, girly men on Prozac. We've never seen a fight we didn't run from.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kailea Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
If we are together, nothing is impossible. If we are divided, all will fail. Sir Winston Churchill. Political compromise. The Personhood Amendment, in my opinion, is the brightest spot in the country right now, except for maybe pro-life ads. But the truth be known, this is for the purpose of shocking people and waking them up and helping to create a movement that ends with the personhood battles until we make it a federal crime to kill a baby from conception till birth. That's the end game here, people. All 50 states, you can't kill your baby. There's no state right to kill a baby. You can't say, our goal is to overturn Roe. No, it's not. I don't give a darn if Roe's overturned. Let's pass a law tomorrow in the U.S. House, U.S. Senate, have the president sign it that outlaws all child killing from conception until birth. Victory, end of story. So we've got this political compromise going on where you've got the Personhood Amendment, which is such a great movement, and you've got National Right to Life opposing it. You've got the National Right to Life poisoning the bishops, so the bishops oppose it, or they won't. We'll neither condemn or endorse. Wait, excuse me. The church teaches that human life begins at conception, and John Paul II told you repeatedly that you must fight to restore the full protection of law to unborn babies. And you're not sure if you should endorse personhood? For the love of God, get out, resign from your bishop offices if you don't have the courage and the dignity and the honor to fulfill your red robes. Okay, if you don't have the courage to live out your red robes, the sign of martyrdom, then step aside and give your office to someone who will do it. How many here are Catholic? How many here are evangelical? How many here won't raise your hand no matter what I ask you? Thank you. This is a tough crowd here. I'm almost done, sir. I'll give you a great soundbite afterwards if you're interested. Yeah. Deep breaths, Randall, deep breaths. National Right to Life goes, we don't want to add to the body of case law that supports Roe. Oh, please. How much more adding to you do you need? But our goal should be bring every case before them, 2 cases a year, 3 a year, that demand the end of this killing. That's the way to win. Clog the pipeline to the Supreme Court with the pro-life cases. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Pastor Mark. Please, I'll give you $5 afterwards if you'll just keep being my amen corner. Please. All right, here's another one. Number 7, our fundraising tactics. I call it the hired gun mentality. Now, I'm talking to you leaders, as somebody who's been in this movement longer than most of you. Don't tell people to send money and that you'll fix it. The hired gun mentality in the pro-life movement and in the religious right overall has destroyed activism. Destroyed it. You realize that the religious right is the largest bloc in the country. And we have no major policy victories to show in 30 plus years. 0. Prayer in school, 10 Commandments in school. We're getting browbeaten over praying at a football game. Little itty bitty things we're nibbling around the edges and saying, a victory, we got to pray at the lunch counter. And one of the reasons that we have got in this mess is because the massive fundraising machines that exist in D.C. and other places are saying to people, send us your $25, join us and get your little pin, and we're going to fight for you and for the Lord's cause in Washington, D.C., or in our state capital. And your gift means the difference between life and death. Your gift will ensure that our cause is heard. Shut up and ask people to come to Topeka and get their hind ends to D.C. Teach them how to be political activists, to be good citizens, to be patriots, not somebody who thinks that they discharge their duty to God and man when they send a check. Can I get a witness? If I have to choose between you becoming an activist or you giving $2,500 to my presidential campaign, I'll take that in cash, please. It's a joke. I don't want your $10. I don't want your $50. I mean, I do, but if I have to choose, if you think that you can buy off God and buy off your duty, or learn how to be a warrior for truth and justice, then choose the war. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, my friend, and I hope that it has given you some food for thought and a game plan for action. Sacrifice. We are God's hands and feet. I'll be right back with another powerful, even a little incendiary quote from one of our founding fathers. They were also intolerant. For behold, God is my helper, and the Lord is the protector of my soul. Turn back the evils upon my enemies, and cut them off in thy truth.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylea Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
George Washington said something kind of cold. 99% of failures are the ones who make excuses. Yes, if you're a failure, if I'm a failure, George Washington says that most of it's just because we're excuse makers. All right, here's my plan. I'll stop making excuses and I'll just get things done. If I fall, I'll get up. I'll keep fighting and fighting and fighting until I win.